The Breakfast Club started in 2001, well, conceptually in 1999. It started out of my definition of entrepreneurship is filling a void in the marketplace that the marketplace is calling for. There was a void in the city of Houston as well as in the breakfast industry. There was a void. And so it started out of a need. Over the years, it has grown tremendously, and it has grown tremendously because of the people, the community that has chosen to support us for nearly 2 decades. That's been the true success of the growth of the Breakfast Klub. It's been an interesting ride. You know, as an entrepreneur, it's had a huge impact to go from a staff of X to a staff of Y, to go from sales of X to sales of Y. COVID-19 is a virus, and I share with folks, it impacted businesses the same way it impacted people. It got into the business and it constricted it, infected it, it put it on a ventilator where it needed help breathing, and fortunately that ventilator was the community, people that decided to come in and shore up small businesses to keep us healthy, to keep us strong. The people in this community have served as our ventilator and as our vaccine, and we are extremely grateful for that. Our saying is, if you haven't been to the Breakfast Club, then you have not in fact been to Houston. Just FYI. If you had asked me before what was our #1 item, I probably would have told you the fish and grits and definitely the coffee. But over this stay at home, people have been cooking a lot. So our top item has been folks getting the savory, soulful flavor of TBK at home. And so they've been ordering this and coming in and buying them by the bottles and flying them off the shelves. People miss the flavor, they miss the ambiance. So the best we figured we could do is, you know, if you're at home, you be the Breakfast Klub. Did I ever expect it? No, not quite. You know, it's important for me to get back because my mom and daddy said so. And I don't mean because they said so, you better do this, but they said so through their actions. Those were the type of people that they were. One of the first things that we recognized was there are people on the front line. And those people on the front line, they need to be taken care of. And so we dug deep and found ways to help take care of them. I am extremely grateful for it. And this is where partnerships come in. And so it was a combination of us supporting the community, them supporting us, and us supporting the frontline workers. And so it really worked out well. Even the blood drive that we most recently held during COVID-19, when people stopped going out, a number of things stopped. And one of those things that stopped was people giving blood. So when our blood bank is reduced to having only a day's worth of blood available for emergencies, that's a dangerous situation for a community. Being a staple in the community means being a part of the community, right? I believe the role of the entrepreneur is to be what the community needs, and I believe the role of the community is to support the entrepreneur into being what the community needs. So we look for areas where we can be fruitful, where we can be beneficial, where we can be productive, and where we can be a good neighbor. And so over the pandemic, not only did we have to figure out ways to sustain ourselves, we also had to figure out ways to sustain members of the community. One of the ways we were able to sustain ourselves during this time was we developed our online ordering system, which had been in the works, had been on the whiteboard for about 15 to 18 months though, right? But it had never actually gone into operation. Right now, I'm excited about the line online, right? You know, when I come in and now I don't see the people physically in line. When I walk in and I look at the online board and the orders that are just stacked. Do I miss the interaction? Of course. I mean, that's part of the day. Small businesses are the backbone of the economy in the United States of America. Unfortunately, we have been socialized and trained to believe otherwise. We employ 2/3 of the nation's workforce. And so it's incredibly important that we recognize the value of small business and move it from being a cliche to fully understanding that without Mr. and Mrs. Main Street, our economy does not survive. So that's why it's important to get out and make sure that the small business in your neighborhood, in your community, that you give them the most support that you can. You know, we still don't know what is going to happen tomorrow with the virus. We don't know what's going to happen. Left foot and right foot. Those are the next steps. Day by day, stride by stride. When people ask what makes the Breakfast Klub, as I mentioned before, it's the people. So if they're at home fellowshipping, which is what they would be doing here, the only thing they're missing is the goodies.